Hey, this is Rachel Friedman, and you are listening to The Wellness Boss. To really compete in the wellness industry, you have to have a fully integrated business. That's why each week I will be answering your questions, sharing my stories, giving you tips and advice on how to create a business you love and that makes money. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Wellness Boss. I am so over the moon excited for my guest today. I have my coach, who I absolutely adore. I think probably walks on water. I think she's just the most amazing thing ever. Everyone in my family knows too. And I have her here on the podcast. So it is such an honor to have her here. And I'm so thrilled that she is going to share her wisdom, her knowledge, her story with all of you. So I cannot do justice in actually introducing Juliana. So I am actually going to just pass the mic over to Juliana, and I'm going to have her introduce herself to you. And she's going to tell you guys a little bit about how she got started and literally how she got to be the millionaire she is today.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Oh my God, I want to squeeze you right now. And thank you so much for having me here. Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here. And yeah, my name is Juliana Garcia. And what I do is I help coaches clarify their message so that they can attract premium clients. And I did not grow up with the thought that this was even a possibility for me in my business. I was born in Colombia. I didn't even know how to speak English when I was a child. I taught myself how to speak English. And it's so funny that now I am the person that people come to teach them how to write words in English that make money. Like, what? It's like anything is possible. Seriously. I also didn't really know how money worked when I was little. I didn't understand people get paid. Wait, you get jobs, and how do businesses make money? I didn't understand how money worked. How do people get paid for things? And so that was always a question mark. And it wasn't until not that long ago. I made money, I had jobs and stuff, and I got scholarships. So I found a way to create money in my life. But it wasn't until I think maybe it was 2016 when I actually really understood how money works, what I actually need to do to create money. And so as you hear my story, I just want you to know that I have been in your shoes thinking that it might take a long time, that I was not made for to create $1 million business or to be an entrepreneur, that I just wasn't sure my direction. There was a lot of doubt, a lot of uncertainty in my life. And I just want you to know, as you listen to this interview, that this is totally a possibility for you. If it was for me, based on I had all the things going against me. And if I was able to do it, I know you can too.
Oh, so good. So Juliana, tell them a little bit about how you sort of stumbled. I don't know if stumbled is the right word, but what got you into coaching, and how did you know that this was I always call it your dharma, right? Your path. Mm-hmm. I believe we all have a dharma, something that, God or whatever you believe in has given us as a gift. When and how did you know?
I realized I had always been a coach once I found out what coaching was, because I realized that I had always been coaching all my friends on their breakups, my mom through her divorce. I was always the go-to person for people who were on a breakdown in my life. And so I would hold them together, but I didn't know that. I just thought I was good at supporting people, and I am a supporter in the Wealth Dynamics test. If you guys know that test, I am a supporter. And so I've always just been the type of person that supports people. But it wasn't until, so my first company was a software company. I created a software as a service, and in Australia, when I was living in Australia. And that company, I went through this online program that teaches you how to build a company from scratch without an idea, without coding skills, and without any money. And I got introduced to this amazing community of entrepreneurs. This is when I was in my, like, I was like, I don't know, 24 or something, 25, 26. And I feel like I'm like an old lady saying that. How old was I? I don't know. I lost count. Anyway, and so I was there, and I was working a full-time job, and as a marketing director in a company in Australia, in Melbourne, and not really loving my life. But I had studied marketing. I had gotten the degree, the whole thing. So I was like, well, I guess this is how it is. And then I joined that program that taught me how to become an entrepreneur, essentially. And I became one of the success students there. And I built this company, but I didn't love software, and I didn't love the area that I built it for. I didn't love real estate, like property management. I built it for property managers to streamline whatever processes they were doing. But I was really good at coaching the students on the mindset and the stuff, because that's when I learned mindset and employee mindset and entrepreneur mindset. And I'm like, I really want to be a coach. And I told the founder of the program, I want to be a coach. And he said, don't do it. Don't do it, because coaches don't make money.
Oh, I hope you've caught him up since then.
Oh yeah, he messages me all the time. Oh yeah,
we are in the friends. Mouth, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh, he knows this. I literally had trauma around that, because I spent, so that was 2014, 2015, 2016. Really, I spent all those years understanding, like, okay, well, he told me that I should, when you trust mentors, sometimes they tell you things that, well, wait, what? I should. They don't coach you on it. They just tell you what to do or what not to do, instead of getting you to your truth of, well, if you want this, how would you explore it? Right. It was like, don't do it. And so I just took that blindly, and he didn't mean it, at the time. We've talked about this, but he just said those words, and I interpreted them as a thing. And then I just created this story that, okay, I'm not going to do it. So what I did instead was I built this whole marketing consulting company, where I was the person behind the scenes for big, successful personal development launches of products, because I thought that's how I make money. I don't make money as a coach, even though that's what I want to do. And so I suppressed this desire and this feeling and this calling, thinking I need to do what quote unquote makes money. And I was making some money, but it was hard. It was very hard. It was so hard. And I didn't like it. I was overworked. I had no client boundaries. It was like I wasn't even doing my own marketing, because I was in client delivery all the time. I was struggling, feast and famine mode. I mean, it was just a horrible time, honestly. And that's when one day I woke up to myself. I was like, wait, I want to be a coach. And I remember, this is when I came across Brooke Castillo. And Brooke Castillo is the fighter for coaches making money. And I'm like, I don't know. And she coached me on this. I'm like, I don't want to help coaches because they don't make any money. Oh my God. You should see.
She was probably like, you're insane.
She coached me literally anyway. And so, that was one thing that kind of helped me wake up a little, but there was just a lot of other stuff that happened where I was like, because things just were not working for me. When you're not on your path, on your dharma, it just doesn't quite work. And I felt it. It's not like, yeah, I felt it. So I decided finally, I was journaling in 2016, and I was like, I want to be the best mindset and marketing coach of the industry. And I wrote that down, and I still have it. And I want to make 5 million. I mean, it was so funny, because now I look back, I'm like, oh my God, everything I said literally became true. Okay. And I just decided that I was going to give myself a chance to just follow that. And I did. And, a lot has happened since then, but that was when I just made the decision to become a coach.
Oh, I love that so much. And I didn't know that about the stuff in Australia, the software and all that.
Oh, yeah.
But I love how you just shared about how you kind of ignored your intuition. You ignored what was like deep inside of you, what was calling you. But I always say is that if it's there, it's going to keep kind of like yelling at you until you listen, until it's like slapping you in the face.
It does. It slaps you hard. It was every day, but I just found all the reasons. Oh, maybe later I need a website. I need to just, I need ads. Because, oh my God, it was just, I needed all the things, especially because I knew marketing. So I know what it takes to do a launch. I know what it takes. You need a landing page, you need ads, you need copy, you need a copywriter, you need a graphic design. Like, I just thought I needed all these things, but I was comparing myself to the wrong the wrong, I was comparing myself to personal development brands that had millions of dollars in budget to do that kind of launch, or who had $10,000 a month to spend in ads. I did not have that. So I was trying to build this Ferrari, and I like didn't even know how to, you know what I mean, how to drive. It's just like I wasn't ready. I didn't even have my license. You know what I mean? I don't know what the analogy would be, but I wasn't. It's not the model that for me at the time. That really helped me see all the limitations that I thought that I had, all the things I thought I needed. And then I just let go of all of that. And that's when it just became like a clear path. Like, I just get to use my voice. Go ahead.
Was there like something? Because I think a lot of people have this, like, they have a desire, they have like a dream, right? Or they have like this like calling inside, but all that loud limiting beliefs, all the BS, I like to say, kind of stops them from actually taking the steps and actually going and doing it. Was there something that happened for you that where you were like, yeah, was it just like a boom, I'm just gonna do it? Like for me, it was like, I mean, people told me like when I opened my first yoga studio, they were like, that's ridiculous, you're never gonna make any money. And I was like, well, I guess I'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me it was a combination. I think there was never like there was one moment that I can see my epiphany when you came from God, like it literally felt like downloaded from divinity. But for the most part, it was like a combination, a compound effect of dissatisfaction with my life and knowing that this calling was like, it was calling me. And so I just kept taking the actions, but it was like the overthinking, the over planning, you know what I mean? The moment when I went from overthinking, over planning, over perfecting, over buffering, over all the things to actually creating results was one day I was comparing myself to people who write amazing posts on social media, because I never wrote like I was writing stuff, but I was not selling any stuff. Right. And so, but I was like thinking, how do people do this? How do they write stuff on social media and make money? I don't understand. Like, this is so good. And I was so jealous and I was so angry. And I remember thinking, oh my God, they are so courageous. They have so much, they're just so courageous to be able to do this. And they have the skill. I know I could write, but I'm so afraid of what people are going to think. And I had a lot of friends at the time that are very successful in marketing and business owners and stuff, because I was in an entrepreneurial world already. So, I was like, oh, they're going to think that I'm just a loser trying to sell on Facebook. Like, I don't want to be that. They have like software companies. They have this, oh my God. I was so worried about what my friends would think. And I decided, I was in the shower. It was on a Sunday. And it was like March. It was like around February, March. So like a few years, almost at the anniversary. And I had this idea in the shower that said, just share 30 truths about yourself in 30 days. And whoever likes it, likes it. Whoever doesn't like it, doesn't like it. But this is the time. We need to stop trying to put all these obstacles in front of you before you do the damn thing. And I'm like, oh God. And I couldn't unhear it. It was like, I know it. I got to do it. So I got out of the shower, still wet, just in a towel. I sat down and I wrote the post, day 0, which was, I'm about to do something really courageous for the next 30 days. I'm going to expose the truth. And I just declared that I was going to do that. And then after that, I did 30 days of the Expose Your Truth challenge, which is now my freebie, because I turned that into a guide, because people were asking me, this was so amazing. I didn't even turn it into a guide until like a year later, because it wasn't the intention. It just became viral, and it's still viral. Like 6,000 people signed up for it. I mean, so that was the moment when everything changed for me, when I listened to that nudge that was like, no, just get out of your own way, use your voice, speak your truth. Whoever likes it, likes it. Whoever doesn't. And that's when I started signing clients.
So good.
Yes.
So if you had any, like, what would be, if you had one piece of advice to give to someone who's like just getting started out, is this what you would say to them? Just show up and share.
Oh my God. Yes. The only regret I have in my life, I do not have any regrets at all. And I have lived like 9 different lives, and I have done a lot of stuff. I have done a lot of stuff that I mean, listen, no regrets though. The only regret I have is, I remember in 2015, thinking all these things that I'm telling you, and all the obstacles and all the ifs and buts. And I just wish that I had started earlier. I wish that I had just started when I had the feeling back in 2014. If I had started in 2014, being like, I'm a coach, I can help you. I can help. I'll help you with this. I'll help you with that. Like, if I had just said it and started, I would be like in a different place by now. Right. And so it's like, obviously I am exactly where I need to be, and I don't actually regret it because timing
Yeah.
is perfect. And those are the lessons that I needed in order to be here to share them with all of you. But you don't need to go through what I went through. Please. You don't need to wait. You don't need to overthink it. It really is just about be putting one step in front of the other. Don't think about 10 years from today, 10, even 1 year from today. Just do one thing today. When you feel paralyzed, because I was paralyzed, I just was so paralyzed on what do I do now? Like tomorrow, it was so paralyzing. I just did the 30-day Expose Your Truth challenge, and I just started, okay, just one day at the time. I'm just going to do next day and the next day. I don't know what I'm going to write about tomorrow, but I'm going to wake up and who knows, it's something will come out, and I would not go to bed until I wrote something from the heart. And then you start kind of opening up your vision to what's possible. If you feel so restricted right now, just start with one foot at the time, one day at the time.
Oh, I love that. I was sharing with a client earlier today. She said something, I don't even remember what now. And I was like, okay, you're trying to run a marathon and you haven't even run a mile yet.
Yeah.
Like, first we got to put on the running shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my God, I love that. Yes, thank you. So if you're listening right now and you have a desire and you have something like inside of you, like, and you're kind of shushing it, just stop and just go fucking do it.
Amen.
That would be our advice. That would be my advice from Juliana. So Juliana, who would you say in your life? I'm always curious about this. I love asking this from people, but like, is there one person that stands out the most that you feel like has inspired you? Like in terms of, doesn't have to be your business. I mean, it could just be life, but I find that usually we have someone that in our lives that, I don't know, either has supported you or really was like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for asking. This actually, I'm thinking as you're saying that.
Yeah.
And I feel like there have been so many different moments where the guide came in at the right time, right?
Mhm.
I think that I had a partner, a boyfriend that was healed so many parts of me. But it was more of a loving container so I could heal myself. He gave me unconditional love.
Mm.
And so I had never experienced unconditional love, not even from my parents. And so for me to receive that unconditional love helped me love myself unconditionally, which was an awakening of so many in so many ways, because as women we kind of grow up as strong women and entrepreneurs, like, you don't need a man, you don't need a man, you don't need to try, you got to love yourself before they come and whatever. Yes, and there are people in your life that come and show you what's possible, they give you what you need in the moment. So I will always be grateful to him. Jacob, I love you if you're listening to this. Oh my god, we are really great friends. So but I think that from a business perspective, I think that moment, when I stumble upon the Brooke Castillo podcast, I would say that the content that she creates is so powerful that it really changed my life. And you've been a student of hers. I will always be grateful for her for that moment of coaching when she coached me out of my limitations, and that literally my clients go find that call and what's the thing that
Yes,
she
they
said?
posted it. Someone posted
Oh
it
my
too.
god, yes, they put. I look totally
You
different.
don't even look like the same
I don't look
person.
like me. I mean, it's crazy. So I will always be grateful to her for slapping me that day,
Yeah.
and not just that day, but just like with her content. I
Mhm.
literally just listened. I recommend it to everybody because that podcast changed my life and my business, right? It's
Yeah.
both things. And so I would say that those two, well, just what I'm thinking right now, those two are probably like
Oh my
really
God.
special. Yeah.
I absolutely love that. And I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, but I mean, she's the whole reason I got into coaching. I had
Mhm.
just sold my yoga studio and I was kind of like, what the fuck am I going to do now? And I was driving to a different studio that I was teaching at. And I don't know what inspired me to search life coach. I mean, up until that point, I don't even
Wow.
think I'd even heard of life coach. And her podcast came up and I literally binged on it. Like
Yeah.
literally taught the class, got back in my car and just sat there. And I mean, some of those episodes I think I've listened to like multiple. I mean, I agree. She,
Yes.
in so many ways, changed my life. Like, definitely inspired me to get into all this. And I think I've mentioned this once before, but for me, it was like, oh my God, this is yoga off the mat. This is like so much of what I've been
Mm,
learning and teaching over the last decade, and just to another dimension, like to another level that makes it actually so much, in so many ways, so much easier to understand.
yeah, totally.
Anyways, so yeah, I'm right there with you. She's, I think, one badass woman, man.
Yes. Amen. Cheers
Whew.
to Brooke.
Yeah, go Brooke. So what would you say has been the hardest thing for you to overcome?
Oh my God. I mean, I can tell you so many, but I'll keep it short. So I think there's different times at different phase, different things. I think that my relationship with money was a really hard one because I didn't know how it worked, how money worked. And so it was really hard for me to understand my value, where it came from, and how it all works, and my worth and money. Does it combine? Like all of that, it was very entangled. And so that was a huge, huge one for me. And I'm so proud of Juliana, for just little Juliana, for just going and just sticking with it. That's like a general kind of like area of growth. But what I would say that was one of the hardest things to overcome, like an experience. Oh, there's just so many. I can't. Okay, let me just say one because I talked about this today on a live stream. Last year, I wouldn't say this was the hardest, but it was one of the hardest. Last year, I had a breakup that literally put me on a bed for weeks, and I couldn't even, I didn't even recognize myself. And being in so much pain. And I know all of you who are listening, you've been in those moments in your business when you feel like I cannot do anything because I'm in so much pain. I lost my dad, someone died in the family, I have a sickness, I got COVID, whatever that was. There are times when we feel like, oh my God, this was unexpected. I did not see this coming. I'm not sure how I'm going to move forward in my business. And I recognized that a lot of my worth, my self-worth, I was sourcing it from my success.
Mm.
And that in that instance, that experience put me in this space where I had to value myself outside of being successful. I had to value my health, my heart, my worth, everything outside of being successful, because I couldn't do the launch that I had planned to do because I was so heartbroken. And I was like, no, I need to push through my feelings. I need to just go do it, because that's kind of like, a little bit of what I learned from Brooke too. Like, you just
Yeah.
push through your feelings, right? And it was just such a different take. It was like what I learned from her was so powerful, and also what I needed in the moment was also healing and slowing down and hearing all my own coaching from my trauma specialist, from my inner child specialist. It was all about slowing down. You don't have to force yourself through your feelings, and you get to pour into you and create miracles and create more than what you think that is expected in like the 3D world, because you don't necessarily have to rely on your actions to create the results, right? Like, you don't necessarily then just rely on that. You rely on so
Yes.
much more. You rely on your angels, your guides. You rely on universe, creator, to support you in that moment, to bring your vision to life, so that you can still meet your goals without pushing, like dragging yourself through the mud, right? Like, I just that mentality it was outdated for me. It took me to a certain place. It was great. And then I had to shift or elevate or just give it more potency. And it came from this like breakup. Like, that day, a coach broke up with me, my man broke up with me, two clients broke up with me. It was like
Holy
the breakup.
shit.
It was so hard. Everything I was sourcing value from for myself it was gone. And so it really, I had to source from a different place, and it had to come from me pouring into what Juliana needed versus how I wanted people to see me.
Oh, that is so good. And it's like God was like, the universe was saying, this unfortunately has to happen for you to
Yeah.
take to the next level. And that was actually, I think, the round I joined for the first time, because that was about a year ago.
Yes,
And
yes.
I mean, I just think probably I've gotten so much from you not because that happened to you, but because of that level of like intimacy that created for you, like that you've been able to now pass on and share with all of us. So I'm sorry. Obviously, that sucks all that happened.
No,
And
I'm so happy it
I'm so
happened.
grateful.
Oh my, no, I'm so grateful to him for breaking up with me, because I didn't actually get to talk about this on the live stream. So you're getting like exclusive content here. But, I'm so grateful that it happened. I'm so grateful that he said no, because he honored his no, number one. He could have dragged me down the street, because, the reason why he broke up with me is because I'm not Jewish, and he's Jewish, and his
I
family.
didn't know that.
Yeah. And
Oh, I did that to a man a long time ago.
oh, funny, fascinating. Yeah. So he broke up with me because I'm not Jewish, and he was an Orthodox. He was a rabbi, and so
Oh,
he
wow.
left the Orthodox Judaism religion, but his parents still want to have, like, they just wouldn't accept me. And I thought I would convert to becoming an Orthodox Jew. I mean, you would not believe it. I was that in love. And I will, but it's a fascinating thing. Like, by him breaking up with me, he freed me from changing myself. Like, I'm so happy that happened. At the time, it was the most painful thing, but I had to trust that it was the right thing for me, that I had to go through it. And we are friends now. And I share this with him, and he was, so it's so he felt responsible for my experience, and I'm like, no, this is not your responsibility. I'm just so grateful that it happened, because he had me see all the parts of me that I wasn't valuing myself. I thought that I wasn't good enough for you. I thought that I wasn't good enough as a businesswoman, even though I had already made more than $1 million a year before. Like, I was putting so much of my self-worth on the success, how people love me, see me, value me, in all of that I was getting at. He was getting, but what happens when that gets taken away from you? What happens when the guy breaks up with you? What happens when the clients bail on the contract that, you forgot to send them? And that's why I'm like, send the contract, make sure. I learned that, that what happens when just whatever, you don't have like your mommy coach that you thought I was going to give you all the answers to the kingdom, when you realize, no, actually the answers come from me. Like, what are we left with once all of those false sense of security is gone? And that's where I was left. And so I got to rebuild all of that for myself. And so I cannot thank him enough for having done that for me.
Oh my God, that is so like gold. I hope everyone just heard that, because that is like seriously like worth millions and millions of dollars, because and for me too, right? Like, soak in, Rachel, because it's like, we think as humans, right? Oh, well, when I make the 6 figures, or when I make the $500,000, I make the $1 million, then I'll be worthy, right? Then I'll feel good enough. And it's like, here, okay, I've made all that, and I'm putting it into the money, I'm putting it into the man. And then it's like, guess what? It doesn't shift until you shift, right? Till you shift yourself, your belief, your concept around it, right? Because it's no amount of money, it's no relationship, none of that's ever going to be enough, as long as you think that that's what's going to make you enough.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so good. I need to hear that like a million.
I wish I had said what I said on the live stream, but this is exclusive content. You literally are getting exclusive content right now. So I totally forgot. I was so in the zone that I forgot to say this.
That's okay. We'll share it now. But oh my God, that was so amazing. Thank you. I really hope everyone just takes that and soaks it and listen to this like a million times if you need to. And that's such gold. So Juliana, tell them a little bit, what is it? Okay. I'm going to say it as I had asked you before, because I think it's better, but is it any different than you imagined being a millionaire, a multi-millionaire? Like, I know I was telling you before we started, like, I have this whole like visualization, imagination of what it's going to be like. And then I wonder, is it really like that once you get there?
Oh my God, what do you think I'm going to say? I wonder. What do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know. I think you're going to say it's fantastic, because no one, like, I mean, I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay. I'll just tell you my straight up. I think I don't know what people think that most people say to this, but I'm going to be honest. I think it is as good as I thought it was going to be. It's everything I thought it would be. I did. I mean, I had this visualization of me being this person that I am today. I had this vision for years, and I thought it was going to take me decades to be who I am today. And so I wake up every day feeling like I won the lottery. I wake up every day feeling so grateful for me, for every breath, for my body, for my bed, for my mattress, for like my face mask and my earplugs. I just feel such level of like such deep levels of gratitude because I know how I know what I went through to get here, right? Like I know that there was a lot of doubt, a lot of uncertainty that I had to feel through. There were a lot of emotions that I had to give myself permission to feel to be here. And so for me, really does feel very fulfilling, but not because when I look at my bank account, I see seven figures,
Mhm.
but because of who I've become.
Mm.
That is what feels so fucking good every day. And I live and breathe and radiate this just satisfaction and appreciation for you, for everyone here. Like I just be in this energy that's a premium energy. But it's because it's not dependent on the money, but how I love myself, how I see myself, how I value myself. That's like if the number goes up or goes down, I'm like, I got you, girl. I love you. You're my number one. This is you are it for me. This we don't have to do anything more. We already made it. We made it already, not because I made the money, but because I got me, I got my back, and I didn't have that my whole life. And so to me, the way that I created the multi-million dollars that I have created and I continue to create are so much are so far from the representation of the money, but it's more about who I had to become and how much I had to love myself to create that. And so it feels amazing. I love it. I also do love the money. I also love the money side. It's great. I really do think it's true that money can help so much. It can totally make you feel better. I am not the type of person that's like, money doesn't buy you happiness. I'm like, money buys me a lot of happiness. I got my chiropractor. I got my massage therapist. I get to treat my clients. I get to surprise you all. I delight you with surprise. I mean, every week I'm just giving you gifts. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty fucking fantastic.
right? It's like, but it's because I have the cash to be able to support all that I desire, all I love money. I love all that money buys. It does buy me happiness. I just don't base my happiness on the money.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
It does give you so much freedom of choice. I think is great. And I think people just get to own that. The money just brings so much joy. And it's just not the thing that it's all that's gonna give you joy. Like you have to do the work to love yourself without it so that you can appreciate no matter how much you have, whether you have $6 in the account or whether you have 6 million in the account.
Yeah, I love that. And I think I agree. I mean, not that I have $6 million in the account, but like I would imagine even if you had 6 million, because there's so many people out there that are millionaires who are miserable. So we
Mhm.
know for a fact that money
Right.
isn't what makes people
Exactly.
happy, but like it's when you have that unconditional love for yourself
Yep.
plus the money that it's
Oh,
fucking
it's
fantastic.
so fucking, it's the only way I would do it because like I don't want to just have money and then be miserable, right? That's not the vibe. But I also don't want to be like, I love myself and then live of $1 a day. Like
No.
that's not best of both. I'm all about best of both. I'm all about yes and I'm all about let's go for both. You get to have both. And that is when it feels really, really good.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Okay, Juliana. So I just have one more question.
Yeah.
So tell them a little bit about the energy of being premium. So
Mm.
a lot of your messaging, and I mean, I wanted to be a premium coach. So that was obviously what drew me in.
And
But
you are now,
and yes,
yes.
100%. Yes. So tell them, you tell me too, but tell them a little bit about like, what does premium energy even for you like mean? And how does like one step into premium energy?
Okay. Are you available for a little game?
Oh my God, of course, always.
Okay. So tell me what do you think based on all of our work together over the last year, right? Like what would you say is your definition of
Oh,
premium energy?
premium energy for me, or my definition, I guess, would be it's separating out your value as a person and then the
Mhm.
value that you offer in your business. And it's looking at because that's one of the things I've learned. I mean, I don't say solely from you, but it's gotten ingrained that they're not intertwined. And
Yeah.
so when you step into premium energy, it's like you value the services that you're offering at a level that you know that they're almost like priceless. So it's like
Mm.
that it's not even like, yes, I help people, refine their skills as coaches and get their business started up and going, making money. But it's not even so much about the money you make, but like you said, it's the person you become as
Yeah.
you up level. And
Yeah.
so, like, that helps you step into a more premium version of yourself. So, it's for me, it's become ironically, because I think when I first signed up with you, it was all about money. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
But now it's not. I mean, it's still about, I'm not going to lie. There's still a level about money, but it's also about, it's more about like who you are and the
Yeah.
services you offer are at like this very premium. They're just fucking amazing. Like, I always like to think it's kind of like the cure to cancer.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in a lot of ways, that's how I see coaching now is that like,
Yeah.
if you're helping someone stop being so anxious, like
Yeah.
everything else in their life is going to be so much better. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Love
I
that.
don't know if I
Oh my
even
God.
answered it, but
I
that's kind of how
love
I
that.
see
I
it.
love what you said in the beginning of how you explained it, because a lot of people think, and I want to, everyone who's listening, I want you to ask yourself, what is your definition of premium coaching, or of what a premium client is, or what premium energy is, which was your question. What is your own definition? It's kind of like, what's your definition of success?
Oh,
What's your
yeah.
definition of failure? Like all these questions that we get to ask ourselves first. And I love what you said, because the premium energy, so energy is a combination of our thoughts and our feelings.
Mhm.
That's what creates energy, the combination of our thoughts, of our feelings. And so when you think about what those are as it relates to you, premium energy is having the highest quality level of thoughts and feelings about you
Ugh,
first.
yeah.
That's really what premium energy is about. That's how you create energy. So how do we make it premium? Having highest quality thoughts about you and having highest quality feelings about you. That is what creates premium energy. When you do that, it's inevitable that you will value your work, your expertise, your vocation, what you do in a much higher way, because you are valuing yourself in a higher way. So there are two separate things. People combine them. They combine, well, I am a coach, so my worth is attached to whether people say yes or no to me on a call. No, you are already valuable on your own. You get to elevate the level of quality of those thoughts and feelings that you have about you. Now we get to have a separate container on the other hand around your work, right? We get
Mhm.
to value that and elevate the thoughts and feelings you have about your work, the impact, how good it is, cure to cancer energy, right? That. So when you combine them together, it's like you have this inevitable combination that will continue to ascend in value, because you're perpetually valuing both you and your work. So that's what creates a premium energy, a premium coach.
Right.
It's the combination of those two. You value you first, you value your work, and then you value your clients on a premium level, right? Like the thoughts you have about them, the feelings you have about them. So that whole combination is what creates just a whole other category of quantum leap in success. That's what people in my container is like, wow, how did your clients do that? Well, because we don't just work on like their offer and their message. That's what they come to me for. That's what they think they need. And we do that.
Not.
But we totally elevate every part of them to a whole other level. That's like, oh, of course, it's inevitable that you end up signing 10K clients, 20K clients, 80K months. Like that's just like normal in our world.
Yeah. Oh, so good. I 100%. I love that and 100% agree. And you have helped me so much step into that premium energy.
Mm,
Like, really, the way I even thought about myself a year ago versus now, like if I opened up journals, I mean, it's
mm.
just, I mean, I think anyone who knows me can see it, but I'm so grateful. Okay. So, Juliana, if someone right now, I know, obviously I know because I'm in your container, but if there's someone out there listening where would you say they need to be around or at if they're thinking that, oh my God, I need some of that, right? Like I did. Where do they find you? And B, is there a certain like level that you like? I don't like the wording of this, but I'm not having a hard time with my words right now. But like, is there like a level that you feel like people, you want them at before they enter like magnetize and monetize?
I love that question. So yes, you can find me at julianagarcia.com. I hang out on Instagram a lot. If you watch my stories, it's like we'll just become best friends.
Awesome.
Watch my stories. My handle is ITS. It's Juliana Garcia, just with one N. It's Juliana Garcia. And you can find me at my website. I also have the Expose You True Challenge. If you guys want to sign up for that I told you about today, is julianagarcia.com/exposed. And to answer your question about magnetize and monetize and working. So if they want to know some of these magic, here's the only requirement. It's actually very simple, but very important. You are ready to step into this magic and for the magic to work as is work for Rachel and as is work for all of my clients that are super successful. If you are a coach and you are so good at what you do that people are sending you love notes, you get off client calls and they're like, this session changed my life. Thank God I have you in my corner. And you have a lot of people, just people telling you this, even if it's 1, 2, or 3 or 4 clients, whatever, you don't have to have 100. But if you are already delivering a level of deep transformation to your clients where you know your work is impactful, but right now you're not, your prices are not reflecting that level of transformation. And so you find yourself delivering to people but not feeling well compensated, and you know you want to earn to the level that you deliver. That if you are that person, then you're ready to join the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. In 3 months, I'm going to help you clarify your message, elevate it so that you can start attracting premium clients. And we're going to totally elevate your entire identity so that you see yourself differently. And then you start attracting different people in your life and, of course, in your business. So does that answer your question?
100%. And I believe, I'm not sure, because I know you're in launch mode. I know you're have a group you're starting soon. When does that start? I'm not even sure exactly when this will air,
you can apply with it. If you listen to this 3 years from today, if you listen to it in 2 months, if you listen to it tomorrow, if you listen to it, you can go ahead and apply to, if you just go to my Instagram, link my profile, you just go and apply, because we always enrolling for the next round. And in fact, if we are out of launch and you listen to this is the best time to apply, because you want to join early. Rachel, you can tell them.
Yes, I joined early, and I have to say, well, I'm also like the dork, the nerd who's like, I'm going to listen to everything. Like I literally was like, I had listened to probably half the module. Maybe that's exaggeration, but I listened to a fair amount, which honestly, I'm so grateful, because actually when we were in San Diego a couple months ago, a couple of the coaches were telling me how like they felt a little overwhelmed and magnetized because they were trying to watch the calls and catch up. And I'm like, oh, I didn't at all, because I had already watched most of it. So to me,
this is why
like, I just got to like,
yes.
I'm so grateful for that, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was doing that for myself, but I'm so grateful.
Right. And so this is the perfect time, whether this is week 1 or whatever, last week of launch, or whether this is two months away before we start the next round, which you'll be able to see on the page. I want to invite you to apply. It's so much better. Not that is worse if you don't apply early, but you will just get so much more time with the modules, and you'll just start to get coached right away. As soon as you join, you get access to everything. And then we start the coaching, you have 12 weeks of coaching. And so there's so many benefits. And if you're listening to this on the last week of my launch, don't let this be the reason why you say, oh, I'll just wait until the next one because I'm going to be overwhelmed. No, that's a choice people make to feel overwhelmed, right? All you got to do is come to the calls. You will have the modules, you'll have access even after the program ends. You don't have to worry. And by the way, most of my people who come to Momentum Mastermind, which is the next mastermind after that, they haven't even watched half of the modules and they're still making $80,000 months. Like, what? Right?
That's awesome. And I have to admit, I've watched some of them like multiple times. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's content that is timeless. This will work even in 10 years time, because what I teach you are foundational principles that are never going to change, that you can apply to your business right now. Or if you want to open a bakery and stop being a coach, if you're going to, whatever you do, it's always going to help you know how to make money and attract the best people to you.
Absolutely. Could not agree more. Juliana, thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for taking some time. I know you have a very busy schedule to be on the podcast today. And yeah, don't worry, guys. I will have all of her information in the show notes. So
Oh,
definitely
perfect.
go follow Juliana. Her stories are great. She like literally does them from dressing up to in her pajamas. She's so
Yeah.
real, and that's the best. Um, Anyways, thank you again. And everyone have a wonderful week. I will see you again next week for another fun episode. Ready to create a soul-aligned business that makes an impact and leaves you feeling nourished, both emotionally and financially. Done feeling burnt out and overextended, trying to juggle that 9-to-5 job, a family, a side hustle, which is really what you are meant to be doing, but just haven't figured out yet how to make it happen so you can maintain your current lifestyle? I get it. I was exactly in your shoes not that long ago, teaching 20 yoga classes a week, juggling being a single mom, and making enough money to support our lifestyle. It wasn't easy. Then I discovered the work I had been doing with my students in yoga teacher training had another name. It's called coaching. It was applying yoga tools, modalities, philosophies, and principles off the mat. I began to offer this to my students, and they loved it. And I was able to make the amount of money to support my family. Over the last 2 decades, I have been helping people transform their lives through therapy, yoga, and coaching. I'm so excited to have coupled all my knowledge into one place so others can pass it on, so more people can benefit from these amazing tools. It all happens inside the Live Your Dharma coaching certification. You will learn how to teach yoga off the mat, not the postures, people. Help people transform their lives, and guess what? Yours too. And you will also build the foundation for a 6-figure business. Because let's be real, you do need to make money to live in this world. The doors are open. I take 10 people. So save your spot. Go to https:// bit.ly/LYDCC. And if you didn't get that, don't worry, it's in the show notes. See you next week for another amazing episode.